September. I'm going to string these onions up now. I've made a start already, but I thought, I said I'd show you how I do them. The Santero, some of them are a little bit, suspect, so I won't string them, or I'll string them separate and use them first, because you kind of got to have a bit of a check it and make sure there's no real soft spots. Like I say, a few of them got a couple, but if you keep an eye on them and keep checking them, and then just if any start looking a bit, bit suspect, twist them off, use what you can of it, and any good ones of this variety will store 6-7 months easy. I did go down the allotment the other day, I think about 16th or 17th of September, and harvested my cauliflower. It wasn't great. I have got some footage, I'll add it at the end of this video, but I ran out of light, so the last part of the video I was just kind of waffling on in the dark, so I thought I can't really make a video out of that so much, so I'll just add it at the end of this. So if you want to watch it, it's great. It's just, there's not much going on at the plot really, just say harvesting more beans and things like that, plenty of beans. Peas, I've got a few peas, so I harvested them. There's a few more to pick at as and when I get up there, because I've been back at work now, so it's just a time factor now, and the sun's been out for a few days. So we'll get on with stringing these. So you might notice it's a bit quiet because many of you have been watching. There was a jackdaw called Jack who's been missing for 2 days now. So just kind of hoping that he's all right. But I've not heard him or nothing. Because I've been out and about flying around, a little bit with all the jackdaws. So you're kind of hoping that he's gone with them. But literally, he was out, and I just went in, had my tea, and I was back out like 20 minutes after to call him in, because time of getting on. We're trying to get him in before it goes dark, and there's no sign. So I've had a walk about, and I thought I'd have heard him making a lot of racket like he usually does, but it's been deadly quiet now. So he's either got lost or flown, because it's this time of year they start pairing up. But the other thing is, he's not really had much time with other jackdaws. He's spent more time with me than anything. Even though he's been completely open to fly free for best part probably 60 days really. I had him for pretty much bang on 80 days. So just hope he's all right, and if he chooses to come back, whenever that may be, he might turn up, tomorrow or not at all. You just never know, and it's always that big question mark. That you just hope they're all right. I mean, years ago when I was a young teenager, I had a rook for 4 years, and one day it just vanished. I've had a good look around. I can't see any signs of, feathers where he's been attacked or anything. I didn't hear anything. You'd expect if he was attacked, you'd hear a lot of noise. But no, it's been very quiet. So fingers crossed he's all right. But I'm going to miss the little guy, his little character. But it is what it is. He's a wild bird. He has to have his own choice to do what he wants. And I still put food in. He's welcome to come back. Should he come back, he might have flown a bit too far, and eventually he might find his way back somehow. I don't know. But I've kept him sort of way where he knows to eat insects and stuff. So he should be okay. He's got plenty of feathers now. He's got his adult feathers on. So I'll try and find the last bit of footage, and I'll add that at the end of this sort of section anyway. Just see what the difference was, I guess, because some of you saw him when I first got him. And then, and obviously to sort of rear him on from this little bald chick that turned up on my doorstep, in the rain and the wind at the end of June. So anyway, enough of that. We'll crack on with these onions. So I need to find a bit of stick that I was using for up here. If not, I'll get another one. I'm just using a garden fork propped up. There's a bit of framework I've got here. It's just something to work from. So it's the same thing as the garlic was. Basically got a piece of jute twine. I just made a loop and just tied it at the end. So it's a full loop like that. Up to you how long you want to make it, but I'd probably say at least 18 inches long. So you've got a good nearly metre piece. And that's for going on there after. But first of all, you need to you don't have to really size your onions or make them all the same size. Ideally you want the bigger ones at the bottom. I find that the bigger ones are the ones that don't store as well. but I'll go with that one. So they've all got the, I've cut the tops off and the roots. I haven't bothered cutting them dead close, you know, fairly papery now, there's no moisture left in that neck really. Some of the necks are a little bit fat, but we eat a lot of onion here anyway. So it basically starts off, I'll come a bit close to the camera so you can see this bit. So you've got your onion neck and a loop of string there. Well, round the neck there, hold that there, and then poke the other end through the loop, slowly pull it tight, trying to get it right down on that neck until it squeezes it. And you want ideally try and get it nice and tight. That's all. I don't know if you're going to get all this in footage. I've just put my stick down, I don't know where I got it. There it is. I'm just going to put that through the actual handle and put that through. It should kind of sit. You've kind of got most of it in footage there, I guess, in shot. You'll see as I work my way up anyway. And as before, I'm going to open that loop up and I'm going to put the neck of the onion through it like that, and then I'm going to bring it round both strings and then between the strings underneath the onion and then slide it down. You know, the tighter you can get them up to the onion, the better. You know, but I'm not too, because they'll just sag a bit. I mean, it's only for a look thing really, that, you know, to get them tight, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you can hang them, it's just a way of storing them. And then you just, as you want them, you just keep twisting one onion and the neck will snap off. And you just keep wrapping them around. You can kind of work out where they need to sort of slot. You kind of work on opposites, you know, so I've dropped them two are going to, you know, that way, the next two are going to sit there. Probably doing about 14, 15 onions per string, because otherwise it gets a bit heavy. So it doesn't, I mean, I'm not going anything about sort of quality look of the string or anything this year. They're just getting lobbed on, because usually they're kind of done before this, to be honest, but they've taken a little bit of time to dry out properly. You know, because if you do this when they're a bit wet, get a bit of the old neck rot going on. And I just store them in the house after this, just hang them up. And so they'll last ages. I suppose if they're hung in the house, you kind of see them regular, so you can just spin the string round and look at anything that looks a bit untoward. You know, you might see the odd one that starts sprouting or something like that. But you could just sort of rip that one out and use what you can out of it. You know, because sometimes you'll look at it and you think, oh, it's starting to go a bit funny that, but there's probably over 3/4 of the onion that's still usable. So, you know, and anything, if you've got room in the freezer and that, chop them, freeze them. You know, if you're going to use them for cooking, that's fine. I've still got a load of Kelsey's left, so I'm hoping to get them sort of done first. I'm going to use a few of the red onions. So I've got a few that look a bit suspect, but I'll string them and they'll probably be okay for, you know, a month or something like that, you know, and then they'll start showing signs probably. Or they might dry out enough to store. Like I say, it's storage conditions, just room temperature, I do mine, not really. Just use hang them in the kitchen. You know, if you've got a spare room, you can hang them in the attic. I've done that before. Just don't want them to get damp, that's all. Can I get one more on there? You can only try. So I've got an odd gap there now, so this one's going to have to go for a 16 on this one, I think. Find another onion that will sort of fit. Whoop, cardboard box going there. Pop that through there. And that's that. That's all them. So, it's quite a bit of weight there. I'll just get me a bit of string here, some scissors, like I did with the garlic. I'm going to tie a knot that I can slide down to trap it, and I just basically make a loop like that, line it up alongside, and it's kind of just doing a bit like a granny knot type thing. And just go through that loop you've made 3 or 4 times and pull that tight. And it should slide down. It's like a stop knot that I use for fishing. You know, I'd say it's probably a bit of a natural, but it's like something you do really once a year. So that's your string of onions. I've got enough there to do another string, and I've got all my red onions to do yet. But I think we'll have a quick look around the garden before I carry on with any more. Well, starting out bottom end here, there's nothing really going on down here. There's all my potato compost all stacked up, ready to take to the plot. So I've still got old Jack stuff here, his door's open, there's food in there. Should he come back, just mealworms and a bit of cracker and stuff. So a few strawberries that are coming on again, and the second flush there. Courgettes, sort of like really struggling now. They keep putting little ones out and then failing. So it's I've had a good run of courgettes this year. Beans, raw French beans are coming on now. I mean, I've been picking these, but it's been really drying out that bed, so I need to keep flooding it with water, you know, because beans need a lot of water. Probably start picking some of these, because I stopped picking these because Jack was kind of nicking most of them, but I mean, these are the Cobra French beans, there's plenty on them to go at. They'll keep going till frost comes anyway. These are some strawberry runners I've taken, which are off that plant, so I know it's a late fruiter, that one, so keep them sort of separate. Spring onions, now I've moved the spuds, the Sarpole mirrors, you know, they're growing alright, so I've got some spring onions in. Tubs of carrots, I just need using up, I'll use these in sauces and whatnot. Cane will eat them. Your patches, apart from needing the water, there's absolutely chucking plenty of them out. Still got a lot of kelsies that you can't really see, but they're all under there. You know, there's a couple of small ones and there's a few, you know, 3 or 4 pounders. That's a Charlotte potato plant, and yes, it is blighted. And what I get off it, if anything, I'll do in a few weeks. It's just starting to succumb to it now. But it's got a fresh growing tip on it. I did try sort of pulling the leaves off as I was going along. Polytunnel's looking a bit barer now, because I just came out and picked a big tray full, so I need to do yet another batch of sauce. You know, and things are looking a bit dodgy with that, but I'm not fussed. Leave it be for now and just keep coming out and picking them. You know, there's big heavy bunches at the top still. You know, so they're all right. I had the odd bit of blossom emerald, and a few of these, like, you know, that have gone like dry and mealy. It's just like got watering regular, and the soil in the beds is kind of well past it now. But the San Marzanos have really started to chunk on now. Plenty of them. You know, I've got 4 of them to pick at the back. You know, as this, I've got this little plant that just didn't really come to much this year. It's popping a few out. Sun golds still going. Keep banging my head on that one there. The old tomatoes are doing all right. There's some strawberry runners I've taken from the plot, which will probably be in the footage I put on afterwards. So that's one of the onion strings I've done. The patches, I'm just drying them out. I need to start taking them indoors in the evening because it's getting cooler and damp in the evening, so just to sort of air dry them, and once they're dried out, crispy, I'll just blend them up into a chilli powder. Red onions, a few of them. You know, I might not even bother stringing them, I might just leave them loose. Come down here, compost heaps starting to fill up. A few sort of peas that I've sold direct, you know, starting with pods. Like I say, getting the old white stuff, bit of mildew starting. Celery, that's still in. There'll be more of that getting used. That Mazur's pretty much finished now. I've just been picking bits for Kane to eat, but I mean, I've been cropping that since middle of May, I think. So it's done really well. This Mazur's not going down very, not Mazur, the Mizuna, it's not going down very well. We're not really eating much of that. Neither, Kane's not too keen on it, so I don't think I'll be growing that again. More dwarf French beans at the back. Brussels sprouts, I need to get in and start picking these now, because it starts getting woolly aphids and like a bit mildewy and stuff like that here and then. So instead of risking them blowing and losing them or getting slugs at them and that, I'll get them out. Leeks have succumbed to a bit of rust, so I just guess keeping an eye on them and pulling them off. And if I have to harvest them, well, there'll be some leak, you know, there'll be probably, don't know, maybe 3/4 inch to an inch in size, most of them. Them beans there, the tender greens, they're doing okay. I'm picking these probably once a week, you know, when they're flowers on them again, so there'll be another flush of beans, you know, there's plenty. So I'm pretty much out of freezer room now. Put some more, these are just the Durham early spring greens, and some different lettuce. I think they were like some iceberg and some sort of cos and some red salad bowl. Put this makeshift net just to stop the slugs, because everything I've tried planting slugs have had. Some more leeks over the back there. They were the late ones that the leftovers. What about some rocket? No, I keep doing with rocket. I'm not even taking a picking from this yet, 'cause it was all losing the light from the potatoes and that. I just keep picking the any flowers off. I sort of did on the last lot, and because they like the cooler weather, so they'll do all right. And here I've got a few radish, some spinach I've sown, some purple top Milan, which really need thinning out, because the other turnips are crap, as my borlotti beans are, because they just didn't get the light turn. But there's a few here, pods. But, so with having the King Edwards here, they just didn't get any light, you know, until now. It's the end of the season. Obviously Jack was nicking them as well. Still a lot of the big carrots left over, which will go in the sauces. Cucumbers, just not really been eating them, to be honest. So I might even just do one plant next year. There's a few cucumbers still left on. It's still trying. Them two have just succumbed to. There's a lot of white fly in here. So bell peppers, you know, there's only me who tends to come down and harvest them. You know, so it's kind of catching them before something makes a big hole in them. But I mean, there's an orange one there, green one there, horrible cabbage white there. And then this is kind of a bit of a forgotten bed. I've got a lot of Durham early. They're actually hearted up, so I've got some cabbage hearts in there, which ain't too bad. Little gems that have gone to sort of bolted. I've just been snapping the top out, and Kane's been eating them. So you can see a lot of my foliage is going now on the sprouts. I've been going in there snapping it off each week, so I need to go in there and snap some more of that off. They are pretty sturdy, so I'm hoping I don't have to start staking them. Usually wait for frost to come, but I don't think they'll keep that long in there. This has finally started putting, you know, baby cobs out, which is all it's supposed to be, is just baby cobs. I don't know if you can see, and try and pull it back, you know. That's your baby cob inside there. So I could probably start harvesting these soon. You don't have to worry about them pollinating or anything like that. So that's about it really in the back garden. So there's not really much more to cover, you know, in video. I mean, I'll keep putting some videos up now and then, you know, but the season's vastly coming to an end. I mean, I've got some lettuce I've got in little cups here at the moment. They'll find somewhere, or when my onions are off there, I might put them in trays on that shelf, you know, while it's got a polythene. It's like a bit of a cloche, I guess, you know, so just for something to pick out until the frost inevitably comes and gets most things. And I've got a few sort of late jazzies in pots behind me. Whether they come to anything, I don't know. I even put some Swift in pots a week and a half ago, so that's a bit late, but if they chuck something small, it's a seed potato for next year, or if they you know, the cold snap hangs fire a bit, it's quite mild, you might do alright. I might be able to put them in polytunnel to finish them off. You just, you know, where you've got the compost there, it's all spent compost, you know, so just keep things ticking over really until the weather turns out bad, you know, and that signals the end of the year then really, when you start thinking about next year. So, like I say, I'll add any footage I got from the allotment, I'll put that on after this video. I'm not sure when the next update will be, you know, as and when I do anything really. I've just been coming out picking stuff, beans, and just bits of lettuce and stuff like that really, so there's not a lot going on, it's more of the sort of harvesting time still. You know, but there are still things you can sow, but like I say, I'm out of storage space now. So I've got plenty of food in, I'm not worried about that. So I might sort of benefit from that, I think, you know, have a rest for a bit and just sort of like start emptying the freezer ready for next season, you know, because it's soon be here. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, you know, Jack will come back. If he doesn't, like I say, if he doesn't, as long as he's okay, I'm fine with that. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. Go on, Jack. What's today? Big boy, isn't he, Jack? Ooh. Good boy, Jack. Hi everyone, it's 14th of September. I've come down the allotment, it's sort of like 7:30 at night, so I haven't got much time because obviously I'm going to run out of light soon. It was just to come and have a quick look round and get some beans and peas and see what the script is with the cauliflower, because I took the broccoli and it was a bit rubbish to be honest, but you know, I've got a couple of bags out of it, and if they throw any side shoots in the meantime, great. If they don't, I'll just clear the bed. But it's not looking great collie wise, so I've got a few, nothing massive or major, but I'll take what I need and I can shut that bed down. Like I said, the sun's sort of starting to set now. It's been a nice day today, you know, because we've had a bit of bad weather recently. Field beans that I put in, there's probably less than half of them come up, so they're very patchy. It was just something to shove in, but inevitably I'll probably give this a quick sling over. Depending how the weather goes, if you get big downpours I won't be turning it over, I'll just cover it up, but it'll get covered before the season ends anyway. So we'll have a quick look round and then I'll crack on with some bits. Right, so nothing's really changed to be honest. Everything is still the sweet peas, you know, that are completely died back now, but you know, there's still seed pods which I can take. I've got a load of seed pods at home anyway, so I'll be doing my giveaway shortly. Sunflowers, you know, if I've had it, I might cut the heads off and take a few seeds, and maybe Jack will eat the rest of them. Beans, plenty on to pick. Stuff like that is quite time consuming, it takes a while to pick it, you know, if you miss any, it's a massive bad time you get to them again. Strawberry runners, I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, I'd taken some strawberry runners, so I'm going to cut them and take them home. So I'll just show you quickly. So I kind of taken 2 off this one, so I just guess cut it there. You know, that cuts it from the main mother plant now, and then get rid of that, and there, 2 strawberry plants. They probably have, you know, not massive roots on, but there'll be enough roots there to support them now, so I can pot them on and tart them up a bit, give them a bit of feed, and We've got a little bit of time to grow, you know, maybe another month or something, and then I'll think about where they're going to finally go. So I've a load of them to cut up tonight and get them back home. Let's have a look around the rest of the plot. Around this way. So peas haven't got to any real height, but you know, there's quite a few pods just for late picking. You know, even if there's some gone over, they're all seeds. I've got a few left over from the last lot that were a bit, you know, hard and tough, but they're just for seeds. This I keep forgetting the name of it, Rigolette or whatever. It's probably doing far better than anything else on here at the moment. It's a bit holy, but I'll deal with that because that needs weeding and sorting out when I've got a chance to get down here for the day. Same as these beds, you need tarting up now and shutting down a bit. You know, but so they don't get as big as the Clapton. They're only a small variety anyway. You know, so I've got that one. That's probably 4.5, 5 inch head. That, you know, smaller one there. Excuse me. That's probably the biggest one there. It's probably getting up about 6 inch that head. So I've got that 1, 2, little head there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 heads I can take. Nothing massive, but it's, you know, for just probably these have probably had about maybe 65 days that these have been planted here. You know, it's coming to end of season now, so instead of covering it up and losing that bit of season, I've got a crop out of the bed, a second, you know, a late crop. You know, I'm not doing anything over winter. It just gets too wet, and I'm kind of going to dedicate this winter, I think, to work that needs to be done. You know, like beds need retimbering and new fence, and just generally a good overhaul, depending on the weather. Because I'm not going to do it if it's absolutely a real, you know, torrential winter. You know, because it's had a few good days dry wind, and this is still wet here. So all the broccoli heads, there's a couple of side shapes, but not much. You know, just cut the head off and cut a cross in them. Well, you don't have to cut a crossing, but I'll take a few off them. There's not even enough for a meal really, but if I leave them, they'll just blow. A couple of them cabbages, you know, not looking great. You know, they're toppling a bit, so I'll probably stand them up and try and earth them up and support them and see how they go. But the minute they start looking on the decline, you know, that I'll rip them out. I'll cover them up. There's no point spending time trying to maintain something that's just not going to do well. You know, so I might as well cut my losses to a certain degree. It's a shame really, I mean, because I've got them at that end and then there's just 4K at that end, so I have to part cover the beds, which you've got to watch with slugs going under covers. The Swede, it's still a bit holy, but there is some sort of fresh top growth, and there's some sort of tennis ball size. That one a bit over there is a bit bigger. But it comes to something great. And these January Kings are perking up a little bit now. You know, they just need a good tart up and just basically leaving alone by some of the bugs to just sort of get a bit more mature and a head start. Sweet corn, someone's been stripping it. I've never had that problem here before. There's a couple that are getting stripped there, whether it's rats or birds. But I've had some off it, and there's a few more I can take. You know, probably not a bit knobbly, but the sweet corn's been a bit of a failure this year, but I've got something out of it. You know, and I've got another couple of Turks turning over there, and a pumpkin on this somewhere down there at the moment. So we'll just whether they come to anything, I don't know. They're just shoved in for a bit of ground cover. You know, so I might let another one set and then, you know, take the end off. You know, any fresh pumpkins that are going to grow, and just hopefully the actual main vein of the plant will send some roots in the ground. So it's more root systems to feed the two pumpkins. I think they're the giant ones, I don't know. And that one's just sort of like growing across at an angle at the moment, but we'll see if that's set, if it goes mushy. We'll soon find out. Celery's looking a bit horrendous. So that's that. I mean, they were just some seeds that were, you know, I don't usually grow. Sort of the older fashion, you got to blanch yourself, but and so they needed blanching up earlier, and it's easier to deal with when they're in your back garden. If it's just something as an overspill, you know, just to put in here. You know, the Stardust at home. Well, these are Stardust, I think. Yeah, these are Stardust, and I think it's the Tango, or one or the other. These are either Tango. I can't remember offhand. But we'll see how they are. I'll give them, you know, another week until I can get up here, and then I'll pull some. 'cause I'm getting desperate to make some more sauce. These sort of squashes or pumpkins, whatever they may be, they're growing. I'll just let that one wander down the path probably. Dwarf French beans, they're looking quite healthy actually. Like I say, you know, end at bed, little late crop. I can't remember what I had in there, probably some spring onions I think. So I've had spring onions out of that, and I'll probably get, I don't know, just over a kilo or a kilo and a half of dwarf beans, but they'll just keep growing until the frost kills them. So overall, you know, it's just things are winding down now, and you're getting that bad weather, and obviously the damp conditions. It's just ideal for bacterial diseases and viruses, and things just don't have an easy time of it. But I've had a good year, so I'm going to get on with harvesting this, and if there's enough light, I'll put the camera on after.